Alright, Shalom. This is Ariel Ben Yashar out of the Lion's Den. First and foremost, I want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rechak Wadash Ma'amath, a double honors to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone, and a sincere to water to the Akim that's pushing the truth with sincerity, and Shalom to the Aquatim and the children that's believing with sincerity. This is Lions 4 News, my second page. I'm gonna be bringing out different news articles or news video, and I'm gonna be periodically stopping it, pulling out scriptures about what they're talking about and stuff, and how it relates to Israel. So let's get started.
When people think of Jamaica, they typically think tourism, but there's another huge part of the economy, and that's bauxite mining, which is where aluminum comes from. Mining has been happening here for decades, but it's taken a toll on the land and the people. We're right across the street from a bauxite export facility, and we're here in the community to see what people think about it.
The company over there is in Naranda Bauxite. Every time when the ship come in and they're loading the ship, the dirt come over and it is pollute up the entire place.
Naranda is like a billionaire. They own everywhere. Being that we've been in bauxite for more than 50 years, the benefit is not laden back to us makes no sense.
They're just taking away people and all over the place. I don't know where Jamaica is going, because it's in a bad shape and we are not making money from it. We are losing. On a long-term basis, the whole country being damaged. They are just here to rip off poor people and take over their land.
Khan. And that day he's talking about, he's referring to what people today call Caucasians. They're actually Esau, as the Bible speaks of. And with that, I want to pull out Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2. I'm going to start at verse 6. It says, "Come on, therefore, let us enjoy the good things that are present, and let us speedily use the creatures like as in youth. Let us fill ourselves with costly wine and ointments. Let no flower of the spring pass by us. Let us crown ourselves with rosebuds before they be withered. Let none of us go without his part, Salakia. Let none of us go without his part, or Salakia. Let none of us go without his part of our voluptuousness. Let us leave tokens of our joyfulness in every place, for this is our portion, and our lot is this." And this is verse 10. "Let us oppress the poor righteous man. Let us not spare the widow, nor reverence the ancient gray hairs of the age." Khan. And that's what they're doing. Esau goes around the whole entire earth, Salakia, robbing, stealing, and killing, literally taking the soil from a place just because it has value to him. All right, and keep it going.
In 1952, Reynolds Metals sent the first shipment of Jamaican bauxite to the U.S. And by 1957, Jamaica had become the world's leading exporter of bauxite, shipping out roughly 5 million tons each year, creating an economic boom for the small Caribbean island.
More aluminum for the nation's defense, and more aluminum for all your needs. From the vacation land of Jamaica.
Today, the bauxite industry has shrunk to less than 3% of Jamaica's economy, providing less than 5,000 jobs. But the government has budgeted over $100 million to expand the industry through 2023, raising concerns among the Jamaican people and environmentalists.
Khan. So, and I wanted to get this. This is Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 5. It says, "Ye also, because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and as Slakia, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people." Khan. And this is all Esau's doing. He's going over to Jamaica and other various parts of the world that he's touched. He's trying to go up into outer space. There's no satisfaction in him. All he does is consume. All right, and he's consuming our people over there in Jamaica right now.
Who is it that you're going to sacrifice? Which people are the ones that you're going to tell, look, you have to have the poor public health and your livelihoods disrupted and your landscape around you and your families moved out. Who are those people that are so expendable? And can
Con. And those people, that lady right there, she was a doctor and talked about the respiratory health that is caused by the mining of the bauxite. But those people in which she's referring to, of course, are the Israelites. And this is 2 Maccabees chapter 6, verse 12. It says, "Now beseech those that read this book that they be not discouraged for these calamities, but that they judge those punishments, Salakia, but that they judge those punishments not to be for destruction, but for a chastising of our nation." Con. All right, all this stuff is happening to our people over there, and it's also to our people over here in America, not for our destruction, but because, so I'm going to reread it, for the chastising of our nation. Con, he's chastising us because he loves us. He's giving us space to do better. I had to rewind it a little bit.
are the ones that you're going to tell, look, you have to have the poor public health and your livelihoods disrupted and your landscape around you and your families moved out. Who are those people that are so expendable and can be sacrificed?
The three biggest bauxite companies in Jamaica today are the U.S. company Noranda, the Russian company Wendalco, and the Chinese company Jisco, located in St. Elizabeth Parish, one of the most heavily mined regions on the island.
Connor, I left that tidbit in because, it's just it's quite it's quite coincidental that those specific ones are the ones that are in Jamaica trying to mine for bauxite. Continuing with the video.
Of which are affected by bauxite mining. I'm seeing a large orange lake and I see a facility in the distance. What is that?
Facility you're looking at over there, that is the bauxite company itself. And they take this dirt into the plant and then they produce it into alumina. So all the waste from through all of their procedure come down here. This lake that you see it here in front of you, got miles of it. These are the disposable area. When it dries, the wind blow the dust from off the lake into the community, into the atmosphere. All the chemical that is in it, when disposable area, when it dries, the wind blow the dust from off the lake into the community, into the atmosphere. All the chemical that is in it went out with the dust in the air.
Con. And that's just pollution right there. That's just spreading. And this is Isaiah chapter 47, verse 6. Con. I was wroth with my people. I have polluted mine inheritance and given them into thine hand. Thou didst show them no mercy. Upon the ancient hast thou very heavily laid the yoke. Con. And that's what Esau's doing right now by spreading that type of pollution. He's literally putting sores upon the earth. Like how you have like chicken pox. He's literally creating festering pools of poison upon this earth, man.
Pure dust. All inside. I tired to clean it down and it still come back. So look for all my clothes them and I just close them in a all day somewhere. See that? All right, that dust.
You have all of your clothes in the suitcase to protect them?
Yes. You have to protect them inside here. That's how I do my place. Look under here, sir. That's the dust. Pile up the whole of my music. There is nothing we can do to stop it, dust.
So this is your tank?
Yes, where your company give it.
The bauxite company gave you this?
Yes, we store water for them while the tank. So then give you this. Fruit them is no use, they no sweet nor nothing. It acid dust blow upon it. Acid from the mud lake, burn it up. I don't know where we do with your structure. Me a sick man,
a high blood pressure, sharpness. When them does a blow you out, it kill me.
All of this dust, where is it coming from?
From the mud lake.
The mud lake here.
Yes. It just went on the top of the house and it go into the gutter when rain fall. It send the water into the gutter, into the tank.
Look at the water here right now. And the circle on the top there. You can see the dust on the water tank.
On the top of the water.
On the top of the water right now.
So is this the water that you drink and bathe with?
Yeah. Because we don't have any black drum. So we got to use this one.
Show you the condition of our place. Sit there. Yes, so the wiper, they sit there. What blow off the mud lake? Monday.
This is just in one day.
Yeah. One day. How long we gonna live in this environment and live in this situation? And then when time the chemical blow now and you come here, you fall out, cut off it, you know? We are living in hell. And as long as the Prime Minister, Mr. Andrew Holness, don't involve in a situation, we're gonna die in it for the rest of our life.
Con, and what she's saying is she's really, really crying out for help. And this is Acts chapter 4, starting at verse 10. It says, "Be it known unto you all and to all the people of Israel, that by the name of Yahushua Mashiach of Nazareth, whom ye crucified, whom Yahweh raised from the dead, even by him doeth this man stand here before you whole. This is the stone which was set at naught of you builders, which is become the head of the corner. Neither is there salvation in any other, for there is none other name under heaven given among men whereby we must be saved." Con, so that woman should be crying out to Yahweh, Yahushua, because that's who's going to save us from this from their afflictful situation, also from the situation that will afflict us. All right.
But it's not just the tourism areas on the coast that need protecting. Inland, depleted bauxite reserves are pushing the government to move mining operations closer and closer to the most ecologically sensitive part of the island, known as Cockpit Country. Cockpit Country has remained autonomous since formerly enslaved Africans and indigenous people, collectively known as Maroons, fought off the British in the 1700s and kicked their asses, resulting in a peace treaty that preserved their autonomy. Cockpit Country has no emergency services, no hospitals, and no piped-in water. The people who live here continue to live off the land as they have for hundreds of years. But now that autonomy is under threat. We are grateful to have final...
It said right now that autonomy is under correct. It is under. So like I'm gonna keep going.
Today, the additional documentation that solidifies this mutually beneficial relationship, and which provides us with a new mining lease that we expect will sustain our operation here for decades to come.
Right. So I wanted to get two scriptures on that. This is Psalms chapter 83, verse 3. It says, "They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. For they have said, Come and let us cut them off for being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against the Khan." And these that little council that they just showed, it shows how confederate they are against us, making up new legal fees, new documents to try to dig up more soil. This is Psalms 49 and 11. It says, "Their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generations. They call their lands after their own names." Khan, and that's their inward thought with that. Or they think that, they're always going to reign supreme and stuff like that, but that's not the case. All right, their time is to fall has almost come.
What would the general effects be of bauxite mining in cockpit country?
Everything about cockpit country revolves around the water. We have to worry not just about the water that we see above ground, but we also have to worry about all of the water that's below ground. Water is being held in the soils, and it's slowly percolating through. So even in the dry season, we always have our rivers flowing out of cockpit country. And so when bauxite mining comes in, they scoop out all of the dirt that's accumulated in the lowlands. The rain just pulses right through the system quickly during the rainy season, which means it's not stored on site to get us through the dry season. So we'll have water when it rains, but that's not when we need our water. We need our water during the dry season when it's not raining. So where we are now is at the headwaters of the Martha Brae River. So this is crystal clear to drink.
Yeah, that's better than Poland Springs.
This water is actually coming all the way from the other side of cockpit country. There's an area called Albertown, and because we're only 100 meters above sea level here in Windsor, we're actually very low in the aquifer. All of that water has slowly filtered through.
So if mining was a reality in Albertown, which is far from here, it would affect your water supply all the way here.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Wow.
Con,
Smoke Post, they just send you a cool box every month.
Salakia.
This is good, awesome.
Con. So what she just explained was the delicateness of the system that Yahweh Yahushua created, and how Esau just comes and tears it up. And she also explained the importance of needing water in time of drought. So with that, I'm going to read John. This is chapter 7. I'm going to read it, verse 38. It says, Salakia. It says, "He that believeth on me, as the scripture hath said, out of his belly shall flow rivers of living water." Con. So in that day, when the calamities come upon us, the great temptation, when they try to force the mark upon us, all right, and the enemy comes rushing in like a flood, and people still have a need, or will have a need to hear the gospel from Yahweh Yahushua. We will be those rivers of living water. We will be those rivers of knowledge unto those people.
To protecting cockpit country.
This is the eastern side of cockpit country. We are over here, and what you're looking at here is, in yellow, is the boundary of the cockpit country stakeholders group. This came out of a commissioned study commissioned by the government of Jamaica. And the Prime Minister of Jamaica goes into the Parliament on the 21st of November 2017 and says, "I will protect cockpit country."
The wait is over. Today, we are announcing the areas to be designated as the boundaries of the cockpit country and the cockpit country protected area.
We jumped. That was it. But that was really this blue line that he selected.
Well, it's kind of funny that blue line don't match the yellow line.
It doesn't match the yellow line. Here is, in this northeastern corner, an area that is left out. Inside here is Special Mining Lease Area 173.
SML 173.
Well, SML 173, in a sense, you could say bauxite mining is finished in here. So the objective is to move west.
So all of the folks here and this land is under threat by
bauxite.
When I hear the term special mining lease, that gives
says,
me, that says that somebody is leasing the land.
Government is leasing the land to the mining company Noranda. The government of Jamaica is a 51% shareholder with Noranda in a company called Noranda, Jamaica Bauxite Partners too.
If the Jamaican government is majority owner in a company whose best interest financially is to mine SML 173, you all are in for a hell of a fight.
We are in, friends, a difficult situation. You know, mining is one of the economic drivers of the country. It is. There are those who would want to shape the government in a narrative that it does not seek to protect the environmental assets of the people. I rubbish that narrative. And it hurts me deeply when people accuse me of that.
And it's pretty messed up of him to say, you know, knowing that he just sold part of a very, very precious part of the of Jamaica that's accounts for a large part of their drinking water, and he just gonna sell it like that. This is Matthew chapter 10, starting at verse 16. It says, "Behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. Be ye therefore wise as serpents and harmless as doves. But beware of men, for they will deliver you up to the councils, and they will scourge you in their synagogues." Con. And this man, he's just a sheep in wolf's clothing. Talk about, you know, it hurts me deeply when people say that. Man, that man really sold part of that precious land unto the Edomites to mine it, all right, and to spread all that pollution and toxicity onto that island, all right. And this is something that's going on right now as I speak. This video was posted 2 weeks ago, and it just shows like this is just a prelude to what's going to happen here in America. All right.
If you look right on the edge of that hill right there, yeah, you can see that that's somebody's farm. If you look, you can see banana trees in the top right there. You see cows. This is a farming community. People are being displaced. Do you all think Prime Minister Holness understands the seriousness of what's happening here? I don't think he understands what is going on here. Otherwise, probably he would be here because it's a serious thing.
So, I'm showing this part right now to show the spirit of Benjamin, and that's really and that's really the main focus of this video. Not only to talk about Esau, but also to spread awareness about what's going on over there in Jamaica. All right, and I wanted to bring out this Genesis.
We saw two massive craters over that mountain just now that have been totally excavated. And there's a trail heading west, and this is heading directly towards the cockpits. As bearer of 1738 treaty with responsibility for the cockpits, it is my responsibility to attend to the voices of the people. So I'm here on the premise of what is happening in terms of mining. You well are aware of the contention around the cockpit country. The voices will come, so just come for a look.
So they serious about what they're doing. You saw that one dude. They saw that one dude look very. All of them are very, very serious about what they're doing. You know, they're willing to go out there, up against the machines, and that's ultimately the spirit that we should be in. But for Yahweh Shai, and this is Genesis chapter 49, verse 27. It says Benjamin, because that's who's over there. The Benjamites. Benjamin shall raven as a wolf. In the morning he shall devour the prey, and at night he shall divide the spoil. And that's what they're going to do when Yahushua comes back. All right, they're going to be like wolves. All right, and they're going to devour the prey. All right, just same as Gad is troop shall overcome them, but they shall overcome the troop. So a reckoning will come for Esau. All right.
You feel that the Jamaican government is addicted to bauxite mining.
We are being carried along by the momentum of history. You are taking out something that we can't replace. You're removing our soil, which is the heart and soul of a country. We are now extracting our own blood in order to pay our bills.
This is my grandfather. Yeah.
Hubert Isaac Dixon.
Yeah. My mother is here. My grandmother is over there.
This place seems to be very symbolic in that the ancestors are looking out on the very land that you're trying to protect.
Yeah, you're protecting a lineage that's far longer than my own existence. And for me, it just feels normal and natural to come and make that link.
When you're amongst the ancestors and you think of all that they've been through, believe you, it gives you more than strength to fight. When you know you have ancestors like we do, these people are coming right out of Maroons. These were the runaways. Warriors, we're the ones who burned the plantations. Don't play with us. It's a pact with the ancestors. We are still here because of them. We live in peace if you leave us with our land. You don't leave us with our land, we're not going to live in peace. It's as simple as that.
All that believing in the ancestor stuff is is heathen customs. I don't believe into our ancestors. We look unto them to see them as examples, like we look unto Moses, look unto Samson, but we don't worship them or anything like that. It's lucky.
Should the mining companies violate the sovereignty, what do you intend to do?
We don't plan to just sit back and watch external parties violate and intrude on our lands, right? So we don't intend to sit around and watch that happen. What are we gonna do? Maybe I can say that on camera.
No, even though he's smiling, he dead serious. Just as I read earlier before, how Benjamin is as a ravening wolf that's going to devour its prey. You know, he's willing to go there, he and his people, but ultimately, this is Zephaniah chapter 3, verse 8. Therefore wait ye upon me, saith the Lord, until the day that I rise up to the prey. For my determination is to gather the nations, that I may assemble the kingdoms, to pour upon them mine indignation, even all my fierce anger. For all the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my jealousy. Khan. All right. And that's ultimately the spirit we should be in, wanting to fight. But Yahweh Shai gave us a way to fight. We don't fight carnally with weapons. We fight with our lifestyle, by following the law. We fight by not celebrating these holidays. We fight by anybody we come in contact. We show them a piece of Yahweh Shai. We show them as well, not a piece, but we show them as much as we can, just by us simply existing. We show them a part of Yahweh Shai.
It's not guns, spears, knives, and all-out bloody war. That doesn't mean it's not a war.
Con. This is Ephesians chapter 6, verse 12. It says, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness against spiritual wickedness in high places. Con. And that's what we're truly battling out here. it's a war that can't be seen with just our mortal eyes. It's a spiritual war that's very, very bloody at the same time. That's why Yahweh Yahushua they told us Yahweh Yahushua told us to go out there and give our bodies as a living sacrifice. All right, the same way Yahushua gave his body as a living sacrifice for us.
The right of their land, the right of their sovereignty, the right of their freedom. It's all bottled up and tied up into this one single act of encroachment.
3 weeks after we left Jamaica, the government announced it was making 23 square miles of SML 173 unavailable for mining. But the government didn't specify which parts it took off the table, or if the mining lease has actually been amended. Noranda was promised an additional mining lease elsewhere on the island as compensation, and all of SML 173 remains unprotected by the government's boundary, making it difficult to see these changes as a compromise, let alone a victory.
Noranda declined our interview request. Noranda and Jay Gisco did not respond to our written request for comment. Wildalco confirmed its mining has led to relocations. It said relocations were based on academic Salakia. How do you pronounce that word? Amicable, Salakia, based on amicable agreement with the persons in the company. The company stated it has not conducted any health impact assessments, but has done many environmental impact assessments and works with regulators to set up environmental monitoring stations. Wildalco said it's possible to grow fruit trees on mined land that has been certified by regulators. And really, that's just that's Esau's way of saying, I don't really care. Honestly. They just say it in a much more fanciful term. I pray this lesson was edifying, and shalom.